Hi, my name is Anna Ang, and I'm the scriptwriter of Go Beyond the Flaws. Being a naive kid, I couldn't understand, why is my dad like this? Why can't I just have a normal father? Why is he acting up? But then as I grew older and when I'm stepping into my adulthood, I realized that this is something that can't be helped. That's just how it is, and he's still my dad after all. And this is not what he wants. It's something that he cannot control. This story actually has been at the back of my mind since forever, and I've always wanted to actually, do a film about this that sheds light on bipolar disorder. It's just that I think I never was able to fully accept or understand that, so I kind of just pushed it aside. But when I was in school and I watched the past honor films, that was the moment where I was like, this is it. I have to do this. This is the time for me to tell this story. During COVID period, the circuit breaker period, that's when I fully saw who he was. Because we were all trapped at home, right? So that was only when I got to fully observe him. And then that's where I finally come to terms that the family needs my help. It's time for me to step up and be a big girl and understand that my mom needs my help too. This filmmaking journey has actually helped me mend my relationship with my dad a lot. I can say that since that documentary was made till now, our relationship really got way better, and we are able to communicate better now, in a sense that we try to come to a compromise. Knowing more about his disorder has made me, I guess, more open and understanding towards him.
Hi, my name is Ambrose Chia. I am the director of the film Go Beyond the Flaws. It was my first time directing a documentary which is about mental health. It's a topic that, not many people would want to touch, I would say. But I took up the challenge because I feel that her story needs to be told. It is important that everybody needs to know how is it like in marriage life. Nobody's perfect. Your partner might have issues that you only realize later on in life, and it might come as a shock. Anna's mom really showed me what is it like to be a mother, to go through all odds despite everything that's pouring against her at once. Taking it all in because she knows that she's the one holding the family together. And if she doesn't do this, what will the family become? And this, to me, is a virtue that she has inside her.
Hi, I'm Amelia Wei, and I'm the producer for the film Housewives. The COVID restrictions affected us in two ways. Firstly was the ideation. We had to look at the people closest to us. We looked to filming in our own homes. Secondly, the restrictions also didn't allow us to have extra help on set. Through this process, I watched these two mothers, how much they care about their families and my teammates as well. It made me reflect on my relationship with my own parents. It made me realize that I am very grateful for my parents and all the sacrifices that they have made for me and my sibling.
Hi, I'm Aisha. I'm the director of the film Housewives. I wanted to appreciate housewives like my mom because sometimes I feel that the things that they do, like cleaning the house and cooking for us every day, can be overlooked. So that's why I want to make them as the center focus of our film. My mom, she is quite strict, I would say. She's very hard on discipline, and that really helped me with how I approach school and the things that I want to pursue. We made this film during the COVID pandemic, so there was a lot of restrictions. My group could still come to my house to film, but we couldn't have extra help, we couldn't have extra hands. I think the most rewarding thing about making this film is to give a voice to the people who are underappreciated, housewives, and mothers in general.
It all started with Aisha, our director, deciding to feature her mom into the film. And Aisha described her mom as sort of like a very strict, very follow the rules kind of mom. I thought it would be fun and also very engaging to include my mom as well, because my mom, on the other hand, is like sort of like another end of the spectrum. My mom is very friendly, outgoing, free-spirited, so I thought that was a fun addition to the film. Growing up, my mother has always been open with me about her struggles with her depression, raising my siblings and I. And so I felt that by featuring her into the film, every other mother that experienced this struggle will not feel alone when they watch it. To me, what's rewarding is seeing the look on my mom's face and also on my grandma's face, because my grandma was a pivotal help for my mom during her depression phase. And I think if not for my grandma, my mom wouldn't be here today. I'd like to thank my mom for being so open with me, to me and my crew. Because of her bravery and her courage to be open, other people and individuals who go through the same struggles as she did will have the same courage and same bravery to be more open and talk about it.
I named my film Ahmad Number 1 because whenever I leave the house, she will say this in Cantonese, Tayat, which means number 1. I was inspired by my parents, who are part of the sandwich generation, where they had to take care of me and my sisters, as well as my grandparents. And also, my grandma is the last living grandparent that I had. I felt that this story could be relatable to ordinary Singaporeans who are taking care of people with dementia. During the shoot, we have to do it remotely, where I will Skype my cinematographer online while I shoot in person. So I had to follow his instructions, setting up the different lights and different camera angles so that we are able to create a nice shot. Initially, I did not know that they are going to cry in the film, but they did. And I feel that this is a very genuine and authentic moment which I managed to capture on screen. I will always remember my grandmother for taking care of me when I was younger, as my parents were working outside. I would remember her singing, her giving me food, especially her braised potato that is super nice, and also the love and care that she has given to me.
Hi, my name is Siazi Kin, and I'm the director of the film Ashton. In this story, James and May, they aren't exactly a happy couple to begin with, even when their child was around. And so I think this film sort of honors their marriage, because it's through that loss that they find their love again for each other, and they are sort of reminded of who they're next to and realize that I can actually lean on this person and I can rest well knowing that we know each other. I actually had like an aunt that passed away when she was much younger, when she was 18, and I only found that out a couple of years ago. When I heard the details of the story of my grandmother and my grandfather, who were both farmers, who never took a day off work, when they lost their daughter, they took a whole month off from working, and I can only imagine, and I just put myself in the shoes of them, for something so strong to just stop their routine of life, like how they've been living for so long, and just like completely stop them in their tracks. It was probably greater than what I could ever imagine. I think halfway through the shoot, I kind of realized that this doesn't necessarily feel like a film. It feels more like a documentary, in the husk of a story, of a fictional story of two parents that lose a child. We knew that there's going to be very little dialogue. From the start, really knew that it was going to be quite driven by the silence. It really sort of struck with me during the actual process of filming it that, yeah, I think we made the right call to have it more silence-driven. I've realized that being a director, you have to be very firm in what you believe and what you want. It was a very tough journey learning that, but I think I've grown in that aspect, not just in film, but also in life.
Hi, I'm Lester Lim, and I'm the editor of the film Two-Sided Leaf. All these years when I was growing up, I didn't see my dad because he wasn't around when I was like 1 year old. Growing up, all I could ever hear was his voice, which I found it frustrating sometimes because I couldn't physically see him. I always tell my friend that I don't like fathers because they give me a very bad impression. When I met my father for the first time, I actually felt calm and a sense of home instead of anger and frustration. I could see a lot of similarities between us, like our looks and the way he talks, the way he acts. And this prompted me to get to know more about him, his life, his past, and maybe when I was younger, how was I like. I actually found out that he's a very nice person when he was young. It's just that the circumstances he was in made him do a lot of bad things and eventually laid out to him in prison. All he did was actually just to support me and my sister. Through the film, I get to talk to him more and know more about him as a person, his youth, and all his friends. He did a lot of crazy things when I was young. Through knowing him these past few years, I get to understand that it really isn't about forgiving, It's more of about understanding his hard work in life and the reasons he do to get to where he is. I think my film really tells people, especially their children, that no matter what their parents did, it's actually for the sake of the children. And even though sometimes it might seem like they are doing very bad, or they are not there, or they don't even love you, actually they do care. It's just that you have to really sit down one day and really talk to them, get to know more about them, because communication is key to every relationship. And if you don't communicate, it's hard to get to know each other.
To me, honor means celebrating the little moments in life, which might seem mundane, but actually holds a lot of meaning and memories of our loved ones.
To me, honor means appreciating people who are often overlooked, people who make our lives comfortable without us seeing it.
I would like to tell my fathers and everyone else that I appreciate them for what they are doing. Even though sometimes behind the scenes they are doing things to attract or love us, I appreciate that, and I just want to say that I love my dad a lot, and I will forever remember him and talk to him more, do daily stuff, and even cycle together more.
To me, honoring is about appreciating, and in this case, family is very important to me. I would like to appreciate my mom, putting her in the limelight of this film, and giving her the care and love she gave to me growing up.
Honor to me means keeping your word, keeping your vow, and I think this film definitely reflects that.
Honor to me is commitment, love, and I guess hope, you could say that. Seeing my mom going through the hardships with my dad and saying that, I'll stay by your side no matter what, it gives me hope that things aren't that bad and things will be okay.